What is going on YouTube? Dr. Way here. Hitting you up with another video. This comes at a request. Not so much a request. I said I would do it for him. Wanna be conqueror, right? He was having trouble resource farming to get the resources to level up his account, and he ultimately ended up getting kicked out of our alliance for having too low a power. I really like the guy. I wanted to see if I can help him with the resource management and being able to make sure he has enough resources to fuel your account. Now, I've already made a video on gathering, and in that video, I mentioned resource management and why the gathering commanders and the gathering was so crucial to the game. And the thing is that these resources at the top, and to some degree your gems too, even though they're more of a premium thing, right? You can do way more cool stuff with those. These basic resources, the gold, the food, the wood, the stone, that's your fuel. You if you don't have that economic power, right? You can't do anything. You can't train troops. You can't do buildings. You can't do research. So without the resources, you're fucked. You know, 100% you're fucked. So people need to start. If I had to give one piece of advice, people need to start caring more about resources and honestly less about a lot of the other things. Like, and the first thing you should do, let me see if I can help this dude. The first thing that you should do is have your it's too far. Have your resources in a good spot, right? Your gatherers in a good spot. Okay, more than anything else in this video, right? With the resource management, I'm gonna get to the management part, but the first thing is just getting the resources. I'm gonna tell you how to effectively maximize that. So by far, the most important thing that you can do is level up your gatherers. Now, there's a total of seven, no, nine gatherers. Um, I believe. Let me count. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. So what that means is that you can almost have once you have five cubes, you can almost have um, a primary gatherer that's the high level, and then a secondary gatherer that just has talents. Okay, and then to make matters even better, there's also four cheap guys that you gatherers you can level up relatively quicker, and then there's two epics and then three legendary gatherers. Boom. So because ultimately with Gaius, Constance, Sark, and Centurion, Jonah Arc, you're going to shit Matilda too. Uh, Even though I'm getting shafted, it's not going on gathering speed. You're gonna get all of those up eventually, right? So I would choose the blues and the greens, right, for your primary gather. That's four, and then you just need one other one, right? And you only have to level up the gatherer once you get, you know, the build queue. So if you got three build queues, you need three primary gatherers. You got four build queues, you need four primary gatherers, right? And some people were like, "Oh well." I remember this was a question in my alliance because ultimately this is for my alliance too. So it was like, "Oh well, I'm trying to start off Cleo." I'm like level up Cleo. I'm like, why is your Cleo level 37? Like I was so fucking confused. And he was like, well, "She's a better gatherer," and I'm just like, "Well, here it is. It doesn't matter. I'm finna prove. The proof is in it. I'm finna show you why it doesn't even matter." Okay. Let's see where the gatherer's at. So I have oh fuck, I don't have so it I can't even illustrate it right now because I have too many gatherers out. But it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's the only person I got right now. I can't do it. It doesn't really matter who's a primary or secondary because you're gonna spec the same things into the skill, the talent tree, no matter what. So it doesn't matter, you know, what which one you do because it's the same build, and like only the skills on the second one, secondary commander matter. So whether you flip flop them, it doesn't matter. So why not level up the cheaper ones? You don't want to spend all your experience on um, your gathering commanders, and you want to spend the least amount possible. So this is what I did. Like literally, Centurion was first because he's the cheapest. He is also slightly weaker than the other gatherers, so I gave him my better gear. But like, you don't even gotta do that. Like that came, I paid for this. That came in like one of those bundles. And then I just put like this bullshit stuff. Like it ain't nothing. I didn't even bother trying to get the special talent, even though I probably at this point could to get a little bit extra gathering speed. It's not gonna matter that much. An extra point of gathering speed, like well, whatever. Um, and see, that's all I'm doing, right? So the gatherers need to be in a good spot. Here it is. I had all of my gatherers to 37 before I even had a level. I had I didn't even have a fighting commander past 37 at that point, right? I had probably the XP to do it, but I just didn't use it. Like my peacekeepers were in a good spot with past. Boudica wasn't past, but Lohar was past 40. But like everyone else, like 100%. This is all I put my XP tunes into at first. Okay, and to that end, you probably want to have good peacekeepers too, and that'll help you generate about um, a million to around 2 million resources a day, because all kinda, not exactly. So this thing right here gives you trophy hunter, right? 15 level 1 resource packs. So it turns out that's like 15,000 food, 7,500 gold. It's going to be an assortment of all of them. But if I were to convert that all into food, and I looked at my AP gain, right? I actually calculated this. I gain, with including the 500 potion that they give you, I get I can kill 100. I get 4,100 AP, like exactly. Also, that turns out I can do about, if because I'm using my peacekeepers, about 120 barbs a day, which turns out to be 1.8 million food or wood. If it was converted into all of that, it's going to be a little bit less than that because you're getting a blend of stone and gold or whatever, mainly stone. They don't, for whatever reason, the packs don't give you a lot of gold. So boom, right? That just that on its own, right, is pretty significant, and that's why it blows my mind when people aren't using peacekeepers, because every day that they're not using a peacekeeper primary, not only are they losing experience and not being efficient with their action points, they're also losing about 1.8 million resources a day. I mean, not exactly, probably more like 1.3 or 1.4, whatever magic number. But here's the thing: over 50 days, we're talking about, over 50 days, you're talking almost 75 to 100 million resources. Like that shit is serious, man. Like, so, like, literally right now, like, people that haven't really been doing it that well, they're out of grip of resources that they don't even realize that they're missing, right? They, they just don't. They don't even realize that they're missing that much. All right. So the next way that you can really springboard yourself is in the academy. And here it is. So I actually, as a higher level player, I have more of a responsibility to make sure that my military tech is in a better spot than most, right? As a stronger member of the alliance, I feel like my responsibility is to be a little bit more combat focused. So I'm working on this a lot more than um, the economic tree. But this is what I will say though, is that if you're a player who isn't, in the top 20, probably shit, top 10 really, your tech isn't going to matter all that much, military tech. And that's because you're ideally, especially in this early game, we ain't swarming nothing. We really want to do the rallies, and even though it might be annoying to set up and get them organized, that's what it's gonna be, because that's what's gonna save our troops, right? That's gonna save our troops. So because of that, your tech actually doesn't matter, isn't that meaningful. Only in the open field is it meaningful. So with that being said, I think you have a lot more leeway to work on um, this tech. And there's some quite a few notable places. Like, I'm never gonna tell you to work on, you know, the gathering speed before you max out these two. Like, they're just too important. 35% build speed, the 15% research speed. Think about it this way: mathematics helps all you get everything faster, right? Max that out as soon as you can. I know it takes a fuck ton of resources to do it, but promise me you're gonna like it. After that, max out engineering, right? So now your buildings come faster. I guess you would have need the resource to do it, which is part of the problem. But if you're doing all of these things that I'm telling you, you're going to get it, right? I don't want to give you a half answer being in. People are going for scythe and whipsaw and not doing the engineering and mathematics. I don't want that to happen. So this is why I'm making that a point. These two things, you see what I did. I hope you're looking at what is done and what's not done. This was, I literally left everything at zero that I could. Like, these were literally at zero. They didn't have to be. I probably could have just done them real quick, but whatever. I worked on these like hella hard. Okay, so once you get that, then I would start looking at these over here. So like, this is already done, like whatever. So, you know, make sure you get this. That's a cool 15%, and it don't take long either, especially if you do it a lot later. Like, literally, I got it done off of just helps. Same thing with this, like the gold gathering speed. Not so much the gold you're going to need early, but 100% the stone you're probably going to feel first. So maybe you hold off on that. But like, again, it like 100% didn't take that long. Like, I think I got these all both done because I did them so late, in like literally a day each. Like, and then I did something overnight and then worked on the other one. Okay, so at some point, like, your production buildings will come in play. I'll talk about that later. And then, you know, you can get at the higher tiers quite a bit. It gets very expensive though. But consider these an investment, because you have to max out your economic tech anyway to get T5 if that's something that you're gonna want to do, which I don't know why you would at least work towards it. You might not be trying to rush it, but at least working towards it. And you mean, like, it's a lot of gathering speed. It really is. The same thing here. Like, I wouldn't, you know, in the early game, until you get, like, you know, your level 25 production buildings, you know, 20, all 24 at least, probably. I wouldn't focus too much on the production, is because you're going to get way more from gathering. Um, so like, again, you get these and these. Now, an interesting thing that you can do, which I think is a little bit more expensive, is there is this thing called machinery, and you get gathering speed for everything. And I don't know if it includes gems or not, but it is a respectable amount of gathering speed. And because I don't got the time to be sitting here upgrading, you know, this one and that one, and I have the resources to get this as far as I fucking want to get it. I really do. Um, I'm just doing this one. Like, again, I have to focus on the military tech. So you get focus on this, and when this gets to a pretty steep price, still 1 day isn't that bad. Once this gets to like 2 days, then I would say, like, you know, come over here, because this only takes like 6 hours, right? For 1%, and then it'd be like 2 days for like 3%. Well, you see the trade off, but that's on everything. This is on just food. So that's what I would do with the tech. That's important because that's going to, over time, increase your resource production and resource gathering every day. Some people don't collect this. Fucking collect it. What is this? Close to a million resources additional a day. Just fucking claim it. I'm not even gonna say anything else. You know who? I know who people ain't claiming that. Just claim it. It's that simple. Okay. Now the last thing that you could do really isn't producing more resources in a traditional sense. The last thing is actually just converting, right? And you have all these deals. Don't do the ones for gyms. That's not what I'm saying. But all of these ones you see sold out, they just cost flat out just resources. Do it. The productions come into play a lot later. I think to break even, you need all of your resource buildings at 16 to make it worth getting popping the boost. Um, but once you get to that point, you know, popping a booster actually will generate you more resources than what they cost. So I'm stocking up on them now because I have to buy courier stuff anyway. But at two, whatever. And you can just convert. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit cheaper. So I converted it into stone. All right. And now that's how you get the materials, right? Now I want to talk about how do you actually manage them. So let's take another page. I might write some stuff down as I'm talking here. So the advice that I'm trying to give, because I don't think too many people that are paying right for resources have this problem, but I think people who are free to play or very low spenders are going to have this problem, and that's they just run out of resources um, doing their building, right? I think it's the city hall and the wall that probably shafts you the fucking most. So like, yeah, you know you can get shafted on all that stone. Like that's a lot of fucking stone. Um, and then like the city hall is the same way. That city hall starts to get a little ridiculous. This actually isn't that bad to me when I'm looking at it. I know that's fucked up to say, but that's actually not that bad for me. I can get this is about if I had to put a number on this, it's about 5 days worth of farming or less. So I can get 25 million food a day. So that's two and two stone. That's another day. So yep, about 5 days. I have it. But some people don't farm that well. Most people can farm at least 15 mil a day. Like 15 mil should be about the lowest you can farm. But here it is. This is I'm getting sidetracked. This is what I'll say. You need to think about your buildings ahead of time and figure out what you need to do before you do it. So right now in my head, I actually have it down on the computer on a piece of paper too. Like I already know what's next. So after my alliance center is done, I'm going to do the wall. I wanted to get additional help on the wall because it's a 5 day thing, and I was in a good spot to upgrade this. Right. At the same time, I'm gonna keep upgrading these guys when there's no event that requires me to train those types of troops. So, for example, recently we had Victorious Heart. There was no way around it. I had to train siege units, right, to get the points. In Mighty Army, you do have to train troops, but it's just 10,000 troops. Period. It doesn't matter what troops there are, and I'll just do it with the with these other troops, right? So, and then after the wall, you know, by the time the wall's done, I'm still upgrading this, and they'll be done. Not at the same time, but I might have to speed up like the last two levels of the siege workshop. I'm trying to avoid doing that, right? Whatever. So then once that's done, and then I can go to the city hall. So you just saw how detailed that plan was. I already have it planned out. More importantly, I already have the resources to do all of that. As you can see, there's a lot of resources. I already have the resources to do all of that. Um, and now and that's how you want to do it. So you want to slowly accumulate a lot of resources. A lot of people, I think, are trying to speed up everything. When you use speed ups, you make it so you need your resources faster, right? I don't speed up everything. I did do quite a bit of speed ups in the early game, just trying to get to 21 for T4. But I would make the argument for a free to play player after you get T4 troops, after you get T4 troops, and by the way, I'm pretty sure you saw this. By the way, I don't even have T4 siege. Like it, I'll speed it up eventually when I want to get to it. Um, you really don't need to rush. I think rushing to 22 is a pretty cool idea because you will get the extra build queue and that will help you farm faster. But and then 23 allows you to get, these techs right here. But like I said, as a free to play player, that doesn't matter to you. So 22 is about all you want to really rush. And then what that means is that at this point you're going to be super conservative with your speed ups, right? Super conservative. You're going to use your speed ups on 4 buildings, just 4. You're going to speed up uh, the barracks. When you have to level that up, you're going to speed up the stable. You're going to speed up the archery range. You're going to speed up the academy. That's it. Don't speed up the city hall. Don't speed up the wall. Well, you can speed up the city hall if you're trying to win an event and it's been going for a while. Max up all that, whatever. Everything else, these are the buildings that you want to be speeding up because they'll do you double duty. Anything else you speed up, you just making it so you need resources unnecessarily fast, in my opinion. Like there ain't much this City Hall 23 can't do that a City Hall 24 or 25 can do. It's not like a big difference. And I do have to get to 24 pretty fast because I can actually go farther in here, and I need to be able to do that. So boom. So you don't want to bottleneck your stuff like that. You want everything to come naturally and kind of fit. When you'll know when it's time to move on to the next city hall when there's no more research for you to do. Like you're like, damn, like what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Like that's when it's time to like, okay, city hall next. Like let's go. Um, that's my advice. One thing that I will say, think you need to be thinking ahead and like do things in projects, and then don't be using as many speed ups because that's what usually gets people is the speed ups. Um, Also, you have to dedicate some number of resources, right? To what if you get into a war and your troops die? I always keep. I'm never gonna get below 30 million of each resource. I just won't do it because if I need to heal my troops right then and there, boom. And then eventually, as I get more and more troops, that 30 million of each resource has to increase, right? It has to because I have more troops. Also, you want to dedicate, when eventually, right, you're accumulating all of these training speed ups, right? And then this is how you start trying to pump out your dedicated marches, right? So I might speed up, you know, 10, 20,000, how many ever thousand I decide T4. Like I said, because you use the speed ups, you need those resources like right then and there instead of spreading it out over a longer period of time. So you have to have all those resources in advance. And when you start thinking like that, it'll help. And then like again, you're already producing tons and tons and tons more resources because uh you gathering better and use a gathering enhancement every day, by the way. I use 8 hours twice because I'm only on about 16 hours a day, so I don't really need the time that I'm not online. That doesn't matter. So I just mainly just use these. Um, you can use these boosts right now if you want. I mean, they're more expensive than how many resources you're probably gonna get right now. Like even for me, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm gonna break even. I might be breaking even. I really wouldn't know. I would have to calculate. I probably am about breaking even right now because all of them have to be 16, and this one's pretty high. Yeah, I'm probably close to breaking even. Not on the gold for sure. All right, so resource management. That's what I do. Um, Plan ahead. You can actually use this thing called ROK, Rock Calculator, online. They they literally you can plug in your resources, your speed ups, and they'll tell you what you can do with them. Right? You can plug in your speed, like how much speed you got, and it'll flat out tell you what you can do and what you can't do. And you can it's just a great resource. um, I am pretty good at math, so personally I don't need it for most of the stuff that I'm doing, but it for somebody that doesn't want to sit here with the pencil and paper or the calculator figure it out. I mean, they'll do it for you too. I kind of like that process because it makes me more conscious about the resources that I'm using. I'm gonna join this guy. I haven't been joining these. Help bro out. Full cast. I'm a little late, so I'm pissed. All right, you're a master governor. You're a master resource gatherer. See you in the next video.